88 Nairobi condominium, a project by Lordship Africa, set to be the tallest luxurious residential building in sub-Saharan Africa.
The prime office location in Nairobi City.
The last 15 years, something has drastically changed.
Changing the city's skyline.
The architecture in Upper Hill is very contemporary.
Infrastructure is a major issue.
Different stakeholders have got different challenges.
We have a lot of space in here.
Can one live and work here?
There is here a huge demand and requirement for good quality residential.
While coming here, it was very quiet, very secluded.
The rising Upper Hill and what it means to the city of Nairobi and the economy. Yes, that is the focus of our show today, and we begin with some key facts about the neighborhood.
Upper Hill lies in two major sub-counties, Kibra sub-county and Dagoretti North sub-county, with Ngong Road separating the two. Its area is about 280 hectares. The land was majorly owned by Kenya Railways during the 1990s and early 2000s. Upper Hill was a predominantly upper middle class residential area with many old colonial houses occupying 1 or 2 acres of land. This has been replaced by high-rise buildings housing both local and multinational blue-chip companies, and there are many more upcoming developments.
In the last 5 years or so, we have registered over 30 projects, individual project units.
The neighborhood houses the tallest building in East and Central Africa, that is Britam Towers. The 201-meter skyscraper has 31 floors above ground. It is followed by the UAP Old Mutual Building, a 163-meter tower. Upper Hill houses top hotels, insurance companies and commercial banks. Also located here are the headquarters of the Kenya Ministry of Health, the Nairobi Club, the Railways Golf Club, Kenya National Libraries, the Milimani Law Courts and the Milimani Commercial Courts. Others are Upper Hill School, the headquarters of the African Development Bank, the Kenyan offices of the World Bank, the headquarters of the Teachers Service Commission and the British High Commission in Kenya. The neighborhood also hosts the National Transport and Safety Authority, the National Construction Authority, Upper Hill District Association, among others. For the Jamwada Report, my name is Michael Zimanje.
Welcome to Elgon Road, Upper Hill. And those who live in this neighborhood count themselves lucky. Here I meet Mina Mudasia, who has been living in Upper Hill for the last 12 years. When she and her family relocated to this place, there was no sign of any skyscraper. Who would have thought towers would later decorate the neighborhood?
10 years ago, flatland, a lot of flatland was there. There were no high rises, flatland. People were very less on the roads because obviously the offices weren't there, the big high rises are not there. But as soon as the dual carriageway that was built, traffic started happening, yes. And the buildings brought over a lot of people working there, so that traffic came up.
Talk of the changing face of Upper Hill, and Mina does not need to do any research.
In the 10 years, Britam Towers has come up, KCB Towers have come up. Radisson Blue has come up, hotel. UAP building has come up. Equity Bank building has come up. Then Crown Plaza Hotel has come up as well.
Mina says that coming here was a gamble for them. Little did they know that they were walking into a fortune.
We actually bought this apartment for about 7.5 million. At that time in 2007. We had a survey done, evaluation done of our apartment, and actually it was coming at about 24 million in the 11 years.
Let's now turn our attention to the architecture of Upper Hill, and Wilson Mugambi, the Vice President of the Architectural Association of Kenya, describes it as contemporary.
It's a bridge between very postmodern and very contemporary architecture, whereby we have the use of the latest materials in terms of the most sound efficient and energy efficient materials. And the whole outlook is something which is quite modern and can fit anywhere in the world. And there's always an argument in terms of what is Kenyan architecture. And I think Kenyan architecture is not yet defined fully in terms of what it is. But in my view, it's a blend of the materials that are used and also the style of design. And you find that most of them have taken up every angle that they could in terms of energy use, waste management, and even the use of materials.
Upper Hill then stands tall among other commercial hubs in the world, according to AAK.
In Africa, we can fit in Johannesburg, Durban, even Cairo, Egypt, to some extent. And we have buildings which can sit right in the middle of New York or Seoul in Korea. And that kind of gives us a very good mark in terms of what we have. It basically says that our architects, our built environment professionals are able to compete at the highest level. And you find that even other architects from abroad want to practice and leave their mark on in the Nairobi skyline.
This then means any developer eyeing Upper Hill must have deep pockets. An acre of land here today goes for over 500 million Kenya shillings. 10 years ago, the same piece of land cost about 125 million shillings, meaning there has been a 300% increase in the price of land in Upper Hill in the last 10 years. In the neighboring Kilimani area, the price of an acre is about 433 million. In Westlands, 418 million, and Kileleshwa, 310 million.
The last 15 years, something has drastically changed. And what happened is that as the city business started expanding and needing space, and downtown was not giving that space, especially the banks, the insurances, the financial sector, and they needed to build, to expand. The next place that was close by to the city, to the downtown, was Upper Hill.
The business community in Upper Hill is drawn from various sectors.
A lot of our members are either in the financial sector, both banking and insurance. Then we have a lot of hospitality, the hotels. We also have now a lot of private hospitals or doctors' plazas, as you'd call them, clinics, mostly doctors' clinics and that. And then we're starting to see, because of that, there's also need of other smaller services, you know, where you have little shops that in a lot of the buildings that serve that workforce that works there every day.
Another key stakeholder here is the Kenya Property Developers Association.
Our members are happy with the business environment. Upper Hill is up and rising. It's an uprising. It's going to be the next CBD, as has been told, with a number of investments, foreign investors who are there. Biggest challenge, though, at the moment is the infrastructure. There needs to be a faster move towards completing the infrastructure developments in Upper Hill. Typically, Upper Hill was meant to be a residential area. So you'll find that the services and the infrastructure was built for residential. They're slowly trying to expand the roads and trying to divert now that infrastructure to be now catering for commercial development. Indeed, many stakeholders here say the steady growth of Upper Hill, on the flip side, has caused a strain on service provision.
The other one is sewers and water.
Coincidentally, the headquarters of the National Construction Authority, the regulator of the construction industry in Kenya, is here in Upper Hill, in this tower.
Upper Hill, for a project to happen, they follow almost what is required by the book. I say so because in the last 5 years or so, we have registered over 30 projects, individual project units. These 30 construction projects that have been registered, they have actually complied with the law and regulations. And even if you look at the quality, they have come out very well.
The professionals, however, are raising concerns over the approval process, especially by the county government.
And right now we have a phenomenon whereby the county government apparently is not approving buildings above 4 floors. And why is that? Because there's a certain debate going on in terms of plot ratio. The building code and the zoning policy in the Nairobi County has not yet been fully revised to take into context what is happening right now. And what does that do? It ends up slowing down a project. If someone has been seeking financing, they cannot engage on a project, and if they ideally have engaged professionals and everyone else who's required, it ends up being an investment which is sort of stagnant.
That leads us into a commercial break. When we return, does Upper Hill have room for residential developments? And can one live and work here?
The Chamwada Report, brought to you by 88 Nairobi Condominium, a project by Lordship Africa, set to be the tallest luxurious residential building in sub-Saharan Africa.
Welcome back. Now, you've seen the changing face of Upper Hill, and you may be asking yourself, does it have room for residential developments? And can one live and work here? Yes, the upcoming 88 Nairobi Condominium Tower, a 44-story residential skyscraper project located on 4th Ngong Avenue, is an indication that modern residential developments are not ruled out of Upper Hill after all. It is expected to become the tallest high-end residential structure in sub-Saharan Africa.
We have a ramp here. This goes down and we have
The construction of the building is now at foundation stage and is expected to be completed in 3 years.
Very, very tough rock. And it's taken us a long time to actually dig this basement out.
Most of Upper Hill is that there's a lot of hard rock. That in mind, we thought to avoid doing basement parking so as to avoid the cost of breaking the rocks. The impact of us not going with basement parking is that the 7 levels of parking above ground take us to the apex of that building. So our first apartments, which are above the parking levels, will have largely unobstructed views on both the city view and the savannah view.
The 88 Condominium Tower is a project of Lordship Africa, a real estate investment and development firm based in Nairobi. The firm is a subsidiary of the Lordship Group, a real estate conglomerate headquartered in Prague, Czech Republic. The company is owned by a Kenyan, Jonathan Jackson, who was born and raised in Eldoret.
We bought the plot many years ago. We thought what to do with the plot. We had different ideas what to do with it. But then I realized that in Upper Hill, we have a lot of doctors, we have a lot of lawyers, we have a lot of finance people and people in embassies, and the World Bank is here. And there's no good quality residential in Upper Hill. So it only made sense to me that there is here a huge demand and requirement for good quality residential, because most of the workers in Upper Hill are traveling 3 to 4 hours a day trying to get into Upper Hill. And as we all know, traffic in Upper Hill is really, really bad in traffic hour. So now we're going to build this really good quality residential building. It's good for the people living here, either for renting it or for buying if they work here in Upper Hill. And they can walk to work, or just it'll be a 5-minute drive to work. So in some ways, we're actually helping to decongest Upper Hill because we'll actually be reducing the number of cars coming into Upper Hill, because we will have in the building roughly around 500 people living in the building. So most of those will be working in Upper Hill. So if you can think of it, we're taking off the road around 500 cars driving into Upper Hill. Yes. So welcome here.
Thank you.
Alex, come in.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So this is our sales office, and we built it in kind of the quality and style that we were planning to do the living room area, the lounge area of the 88 Nairobi project. And you can see here, this is one of the early model that we did for the project, and it shows both the 4th Ngong Avenue and the Bishop's Road here. So it's on that corner site. And you've got the school in front here, so you've got nothing obstructing your view, and behind is the church, so there's no obstruction of the view behind. And this is facing westwards, so you get all the sunsets down this way. And that's why we have the swimming pool up here on the 34th floor. And so you can come out, and there's a bar there, so you can come out and have your drinks in the daytime. You can sit out there and sunbathe, or you can, in the evenings, we have little gas fires. You can have your
unique,
cocktails and look at the whole amazing view of Nairobi. And you will see here that this is the parking floors on this level. The lower ground floor, we have the restaurant, we have the convenience store, we have the business center down there, and this is and also one thing we also have here is guest rooms. So if you have a guest coming to stay with you and you don't have enough beds for them to sleep in, you can actually rent a room for your guests. They don't even have to leave the building. So even your guests can stay there.
Interesting.
So yeah, welcome upstairs. This is where we have the actual show apartment that we built up here. Thank you. So this is the apartment. This is what you see here is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. That's our phrase. So the lights, the sofas, the furniture, even the TV. The only thing you don't get is your knife and fork. You'll have to buy your own knife and fork. Otherwise, everything else is coming. The other thing is, of course, is that we will not get any pictures. So if you have a look at this, this gives you the idea of how tall the building is on the landscape. So it gives you really a good feeling that this is going to be a really tall building within Nairobi. And then over here you can see the kitchen. So one of the things, we got a lot of great facilities. You've got here the dishwasher. So even there's a dishwasher, it's all included in the price. And then we are using very nice...
you just touch that.
You just touch it and you come down and you drop it like that, it'll close itself.
Let me try.
Go on then. Well done.
Then close.
And close.
You just
you pull it. You have to pull it a little bit, and then it'll close by itself. Yes. So effortlessly. And then of course we also have the hood, electric cooker, which is safe. It's an induction system, so it's very safe. And then of course all the fridges. This is really international standards, and it's a really nice kitchen for a good two-bedroom apartment. So yeah, so we can show you through to the master bedroom, which is in here. This is the master bedroom, and again we have a lot of space in here, and the bed is included. The curtains are included in the price. So here is the main bathroom in here. And you can see the quality of the tiles. They're really high quality tiles. And we have we have the overhead shower as well as the shower for handheld shower as well. So we have the combination of the two. So you can see it, and then the overhead shower. So, and one of the things is, do you know in many hotels you go and you want to put the tap on, you've got the overhead shower and the tap is there. And you have to go and then jump quickly because the cold water is coming down first. Look here, come here, turn around here. We have the tap here. So when you're coming in, you can do it here, control it here before you get into the shower. You see how we think? You see how we're thinking?
We have that challenge.
Yes, if you're coming here, it's so cold, you have to jump out of the...
Keep trying.
Exactly. So we're thinking of all of these things. And then if we come back here, you'll see that we create here like a studio and a one-bedroom unit. So we have this flexibility. So you can rent this out as a studio, and over here you can have the one-bedroom. What I'd love to do is to show you here is the terrace. We have a very nice terrace. So each apartment comes with a beautiful terrace. So. Yeah, take a seat. And you can imagine that if you're sitting here, you're looking at the whole of Nairobi, you can have your wine and your beer, and you're looking out over the whole of Nairobi. And this is still included in the price, this furniture. It's all included. Nice piece of glass, so you get really good visibility of the whole of Nairobi.
So this
Yes.
is it the main?
So here, this is the actually the second bedroom, or it's the single bedroom. So you can come through here. Do come in. So you can see it's a beautiful bed, and this is like the second bedroom, but it also the main bedroom if it's a one-bedroom unit.
Are they the same size?
No, this is a smaller bed, smaller room than the other one, but the beds we've actually done extra large beds.
Okay.
So these are extra king size beds. So it gives you, that's what we're offering in the product.
Yeah. So you can, if you own one, then you can rent out the other bedroom and stay here.
Exactly.
Make money from the other
You can
side.
make the money from the other one and stay here.
Okay.
Exactly. So you can rent out the studio, or you can live in the studio. Like a lot of diaspora, they fly in. They're not here all the time. So for them to have a studio where they can live and to stay when they come into Kenya, it's perfect. They can rent out this as a one bedroom, and when they can just come and use the studio when they're here.
Okay. Great. At this juncture, you may be asking, what is the price of the apartments?
We have a variety of prices. So the prices are going from the studios on the lower level, and every floor you go up, the price increases. So as you go up the building, the prices are increasing. So we're starting off down here. The original prices were around 7 million. I think now they've been basically sold already, because we've sold many apartments. I think the studios now are around 8.5 million, and the one bedrooms are around 13 million. 13 to 15 million, and then we're going on up to two bedroom units now at around 23 million. So the two bedroom units are around 23, and they increase as you go up the building.
Indeed, Upper Hill is changing pretty fast, and with such upcoming residential developments, it is set to become a unique commercial hub of the city of Nairobi, where one can work and live.
Contribution of Nairobi alone to the GDP is about 60%. And as we see Upper Hill growing, this could lead to another 4-5% increase, which is really good for Nairobi, but also for the country.
Fresh and informative, isn't it? Well, keep the conversation alive on what the growth of Upper Hill means for Nairobi City and the economy. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Chams Media TV, in order to watch our content. Many thanks to our broadcasting partner, KTN News Channel. Many thanks to our viewers, and until we meet again next time, bye-bye from Upper Hill.
Invest in 88 Nairobi Condominium today and take advantage of our festive offer. Visit our show apartment on 2nd Ngong Avenue or call 0712 288 888 to experience luxury living.